Hi, I'm Mary Lacheski, and I am one of the authors and the person that it happened to get smart people get scammed too. I'm going to share that with you and then share some resources with you. So this happened to us. We're basically relatively smart people. We're educated, careful people. We believe scams happen to someone else. Ha. Then one message changed everything. Mike is an engineer. He was looking for ways to trade crypto to learn more about it. Traded a little bit, but not enough to be really comfortable. I've been a realtor for over 20 years. He saw an ad online for a free crypto training class, inquired about it, was invited to join a group on Signal. You may or may not know that Signal is a highly encrypted app that's very hard to trace. Now, we have a Signal group with our family to keep our family safe. And WhatsApp and Telegram are two other apps that scammers generally use. One day, Mike's in a couple of guy groups, good people, know them, texting groups. And I said, who are you texting so much? And he said, oh, it's this training group, learning about crypto trading. He said, take a look. So I took a look, and this was from Elena. And so he introduced us to each other, and then I started texting Elena also. The beginning was just good, solid training, things you would hear from reliable people who knew about the stock market. Mike had traded for years. He had a coach. And so it started out as this is a beta test and learning a little bit. And then one day it's like, oh, this is a beta test, and any money you put in, you won't lose because we're not going to let you lose it. And then it became, oh, there's this contest, this AI contest to see which AI app is the best at trading a crypto. Now, there was actually such a contest. And Mike had Googled these people, trust me. But your brain has a tendency to fill in gaps. So while they were very close to real people, there were some gaps that later they were glaring, but in the beginning they were not. So we started trading. We put in some of our money. Chase Bank tried really hard to get us not to wire any funds. God love them. But I think they don't ask the right questions. And that's another talk. But along the way, it's like, this is, we're going to do an IPO. Well, and this is where AI came in. So this Elena, who is probably some guy in Myanmar smoking a cigarette, talking to us over AI, she started to learn about us, the AI did, and learn, what we like and dislike, and found out Mike and I were grandparents, and so she said, oh, you remind me of my grandparents. I say she, even though it was probably a guy, okay, or a bot, probably a guy. And so this went on, and I broke my foot, and Mike had to go out of town, so I traded, and I had traded before, so the platform looked legit. Things looked good until we realized that we were not going to get our money. And I had to tell our son, and that was the hardest day, was telling our son that we had really messed up. And they said, stop. So my message, and how all this started with me sharing, is that I called Jeff after I cried for 2 weeks straight. I called Jeff Kickle and said, can I be on your podcast? And he said, of course. And then he said, we need to make a book out of this. We need to get this out there. And at first we didn't want to use our last name, but then we decided we're going to just go all out. It's got to stop somewhere. So here the scam works. The invitation off of one of the big platforms. The group seemed like us. This is where AI comes into play. AI was learning about us, and people were saying people. Some of them were probably legitimate, caught in the same scam, and a lot of them were probably bots. And looking back, it seems like, ugh. But what are you going to do with your money? Oh, we're going to buy a new car. We're going to, buy a bigger house. We just wanted to, we have enough. And so we wanted to start a scholarship fund, help our church, help our kids. So the app was called Athena. I'm sure they've got another name for it now. And then they said, that this was going to be, and to keep it a secret. You trade, you succeed, you looked good, and then you realize you're not going to get your money. So that was our sad story. But I really believe that a war is being waged against the U.S., especially senior citizens. We are being hunted by organized crime, by all sorts of people in the world who think we're just loaded with money. Now, like most seniors, I worked hard for my money, and we've been through hard times. Every generation goes through hard times, wars and downturns and all that stuff. But it's our money. We worked for it, and they are stealing it from us. They use fear. Calls a loved one is in trouble. I have spoken to people they said they got a call from their grandchild. Their grandchild was at home, and that it wasn't them. So you need a safe word, by the way. The calls are, how many of you have gotten a call and said, hey, hi, is this Mike or is this Mary or whoever? And you say yes because we're polite. No, never say yes, because that means they've got a live person that they're ready to be scammed. And number two is they can use that recording to say that you said yes to things that you did not say yes to. It happened to my daughter. Seniors need money. Social Security is just a poverty level, really. And so, we were using our savings to go on trips or to, pay some extras. And that was our money. That was not for them to steal. They were the bad guys. There's a romance scam. One of our neighbors in his 60s got caught in a romance scam, and it was $1 million. That this poor guy, and the bank had to freeze all his assets because he kept giving it away until he finally realized the crisis is real. It's growing every year. Look at the differences. $5 billion between 24 and 25 as to fraud types lost by adults over age 60. The average adult, a senior, has lost 38,500. Obviously more, some less. But it's still there, and they're still working on it. 4 warning signs. Don't tell anyone. Well, number one is the fear. You get the call, and it's like, for instance, a woman that sounded like she was in her 50s got a call that her 20-something-year-old son had been arrested for having a fender bender and moving off the roadway, which I think you're supposed to do. But anyway, it said Williamson County. This is Detective so-and-so. I want to help you get your son out of jail, and here's the bail thing. Venmo me $2,700. And she did, because she was panicked. Her son had never been in trouble. And it was a scam. So there are tons of scams. And guaranteed returns are one thing. No, the stock market does not have guaranteed returns. At the back of our book, Jeff has all these resources for you, honestly, more than I had ever dreamed. Don't agree to move a conversation off of your main thing. Now, even on LinkedIn, Mike is getting these. It's we saw your LinkedIn profile, and you're just what we're looking for. And he says, okay, let's meet up on Teams or Zoom, and they disappear like that because they're not legit. So don't go off to another app. Urgency, it's always urgent. And don't hang up. So you could call that person, or you could call someone you trust. So those are the urgency things. AI is listening to you all the time. I'm sorry, I tell people, don't put Alexa in your bedroom. They've said that actual real people listen to some conversation. So, and if you've ever, I've had my phone actually type what I was on a Zoom call. My phone was sitting on my desk. It was typing. I didn't have an app open for it to type, and I looked over, and it was typing what we were saying. So this is the thing, common types of fraud. All sorts of things. Oh my gosh. And they are thinking of new things every day. This is from our Chase Bank. So how to fight back, report every scam. Go to your local law enforcement, get a case number. They may not be able to directly help you because not all places are big enough to do that. Then IC3.gov, if it's a crypto or if any kind of a scam that's monetary. Call AARP, talk about it. Tell your friends, tell your relatives. The shame is not for you. The shame is for those people who are criminals stealing your money. The shame is not for you. Read our book. Please share it. Read it, share it. We're still here. We're still fighting. It's been tough to share our failures with people. But I want you guys, you people, to be warriors, and you fight too. Fight for your loved ones. Thank you.